Hello everybody, this is Nelca again, and this is one of the video part of my ebook, and our topic now is the limbic lighting. So on page 92 of your ebook, you will find the topic about the limbic lighting. And if you click those links, you will go directly to the website and you will find out more about the limbic lighting. So my ebook is just a summary, and if you want to go more of this limbic lighting topic, just go and check it in the website. You can either search it and then in the Google, or you can go and find also a lot of videos in YouTube, and you will find that there's one playlist here, 7 videos about the limbic lighting done by the Gruppe Nymphenburg company. And if you want to download the PDF study about this limbic emotional assessment, just go and check it, or you can download it here in the Zoom to Bell website. You can get your complimentary white paper, and that is all about the limbic lighting study. And this one of this paper is this PDF, and from here you can read a lot of things about the study done by Gruppe Nymphenburg about this limbic lighting, about the emotional what is this? The emotional effect of a human in terms of buying. So I will show you one presentation. This is a presentation, and this is a presentation copyrighted by Zoom to Bell. So I'm sharing this to you for education purposes only. Okay, so this is now the start of the presentation. Good afternoon again, this is Nelca, and we will start with a presentation of this limbic lighting. It is a copyright PowerPoint presentations by Zoom to Bell Group, and I'm just sharing it to you for education purposes and to be more aware what is limbic lighting. If you have comments and suggestions, please put a comment on this video below later. Okay, let's start. So challenges retailers are facing today. So one of the question is, how do we improve target group addressing? How do we create more positive buying impulses? How can the time customers spend at the POS be prolonged? POS is a point of sale. How can the earnings of individual branches be increased? And last is, how do we increase our sales volume? So these are the questions of the retailers today. So study propositions. Various consumers respond to light with different emotions. Various target groups respond differently to various lighting scenarios. If you go to a mall or a retail shop by yourself, you can feel immediately if the retail shop is very intimidating or cozy or appealing to you. Customers feel emotionally touched in different ways by various lighting solutions at the POS. And consumer behavior can be enhanced with light. So that is one of the study done by this group, and how this limbic lighting came up. So it says that based on that study, more than 95% of all our decisions are made unconsciously. I think I feel that. Okay. So which type prefers which shop? There are different group done by this study, and later we will discuss all of this. So look at the pictures and you can easily identify which one for you is comfortable for you to enter or not to enter. Actually, I don't have these nice picture samples, but this is what they use in the presentation, so I'm just using the same. Okay. So this is the study done by the Gruppe Nymphenburg, and this limbic lighting study shows clear differences with respect to lighting preferences. So let's find out what is this limbic lighting is. In collaboration with Gruppe Nymphenburg, This is Dr. Hans Georg Hossel. He is an internationally leading expert in neuromarketing. He's doing consultancy for international manufacturers of branded products and trading companies for more than 40 years, and from brand positioning to POS implementation. Again, POS is point of sale, so it's just abbreviations. And some of his projects are Adidas, BIPA, Bugatti, Coca-Cola, Danone, Ferrero, Head, and so on and so forth. So this Gruppe Nymphenburg is one of the consultants for neuro sciences, which are used for retailers or retail marketing. And then this is their laboratory, and this is where they did this LEA, or Limbic Emotional Assessment. This LEA is based on the methods of neuroscience and psychophysiology. So they created a room, they put a 3D images and graphics, and then they examined the different people, different classifications of people, and from there they study what there are emotions about the light on the pictures. So this is how they did it. So on the starting point, the analysis of target groups in the context of the limbic model. So they put some stuff on the face of and on the heart and the pulse of the human test. Okay, and then the laboratory test at the virtual reality center. So that studio is called the virtual reality center. So analysis of lighting preferences of different target groups. So they did invite people to be part of this study and test. And then the third one is they put an allocation of limbic types, and this evaluation according to cognitive and emotional stress. So that's the wires, I think, are the one they use to determine the emotions of the people they use in the test or in their study. So, and then they put different lights and different lighting schemes on the picture, and from that pictures, the people who been into the testing room create different emotions, and based on their eyes also, they found out something that's very interesting. Study design, they test 20 different lighting scenarios involving realistic 3D visualizations of a fashion shop. So you can see on the pictures how they did it. Changes with respect to 6 lighting parameters: the light color, quantity of light, light distribution, beam patterns, contrasts in brightness, and light color. So that's what they did in the lighting for this test. Measurement and analysis of the physical responses of all the participants. So they measure the responses of the participants. All right. So another one, this limbic lighting is the first ever empirical evidence of emotional responses to various different lighting scenarios in shops, found in collaboration with Gruppe Nymphenburg. The starting point, the target group segmentation in accordance with the neuropsychological limbic model, which focuses on the complex emotional personality structures of consumers. So they created these different structures, and then they group the person who are in line with different with the same reactions. So they have this graph. It shows that there are 3 main groups: the stimulant, dominance, and balance. Later on, we will discuss these 3 groups. Later. So the 7 limbic types are the disciplinarians, traditionalists, harmonizers, bon vivants, hedonists, adventurers, and performers. Later on, we will discuss all these people, the characters of these people. And if you want to know more of this, you can watch the YouTube of Limbic Lighting, and also you can read the paper, the white paper done by the Gruppe Nymphenburg. Yeah. So the 3 major groups, the one I mentioned before, is the dominance, stimulants, and balance. So you can see that the stimulant, dominance, and balance, and beside this group, there is adventure thrill, discipline control, and fantasy pleasure. So you can see that there are different characteristics of these people, like for example, pleasure, fantasy, logic, justice, impulsiveness, and spontaneity, rebellion, humor, art, tenacity, and so on and so forth. So they group it accordingly with their same characters. So from the dominance group, you can see those people that are performers and disciplinarians. So you can see the pictures who are those. And for the in between the adventure and in between the stimulant and the dominance, there are people who are those hedonists and adventurers. So they belong to this part of adventure or thrill people. And then this bon vivants. Later we will check what is this bon vivants. It's not so English. Okay. And of course those harmonizers and traditionalists. Those harmonizers and traditionalists belongs to the balance group. And for those stimulant, the hedonists and adventurers. And for the dominance, you can see the performers. The disciplinarians and the bon vivants are in between. So we will check what their favorable lighting schemes are. So for the dominants are the performers and disciplinarians. So you may see that these are those bossy businessmen and sales executives, and they tend to get more into success. And the stimulants are those hedonists and adventurers, young generation, teenagers, free living people. And then the balance are those harmonizers, traditionalists, and bon vivants. So the balance are mostly those, I'm not saying old people, but they belong to that side, and those with a family, I think they are more in the safe side of the life. So these are all the three main groups for this limbic study. So for the balance, these are the individuals. Okay, let's go back and check that once. So the balance, this is on the third. Okay, they started with the last one. So the balance, these are the individuals looking for harmony and relaxation. These are harmonizers, traditionalists, and bon vivants. And they respond particularly positively to moderate accent lighting. So the sample is below. So you can see there's a little warm color. It's more of homely effect of light. And then the dominants, these are all people who are critical individuals. They are the performers and disciplinarians. They prefer balanced light distribution with a high proportion of diffuse light and uniformly illuminated peripheral areas. They are also susceptible to discretely mood-enhancing light effects. So below is the Porsche design in Singapore, and you can see that these dominance people prefer to use white color and evenly illumination, and there's a little contrast but still uniform lighting all over. And the stimulants, these are the unconventional persons. They are the hedonists and adventurers. Those looking for fun, variety, or adventure like to be inspired by high contrast scenarios with low horizontal general lighting levels. I think the picture is not a good sample, but if you went to a JAG, Adidas store, Nike, or Levi's, these are all the stimulants shop. Stimulants people, they prefer to go to these kind of shops with a high contrast. You may think that shops are dark, and they focus more of their spotlights on the merchandise only. So these are the three characteristics of these are the three groups with their characters or characteristics. So let's go and check further. So balanced people are individuals looking for harmony and relaxation. That's what I mentioned before. These are the things they want. They want soft lighting scene with low contrast, consisting of a mix of accent lighting, cove lighting, and vertical lighting. moderate accent lighting using spots with medium wide beam angles. Later, I will show you some pictures with the description of these three groups. And then the illumination of peripheral areas using floods with vertical asymmetrical light distribution, supplemented by spots as required. Integrated dimmed accent lighting on shelves and in recesses. The average horizontal illuminance is approximately 800 lux, and they prefer to use warm white color temperature for about 3000 Kelvin. So for the dominance people are critical individuals, yes. So they prefer to have the uniform diffuse lighting scene that is perceived as bright, produced by wide-angle accent luminaires, downlights, floodlights, and cove lighting. Accent lighting using spots with medium to wide beam angles. I preferred one Dialux file, and later we will create this kind of group lighting schemes to check if we can achieve this kind of light scenes for these different groups. And then the uniform illumination of peripheral areas using floods with asymmetrical light distribution, and the uniform illumination on shelves and recesses. Okay, it's all the same. And then relatively high horizontal illuminance of approximately 1200 lux. So for example, the example I gave you is this Porsche shop, but the best example for this dominance are those big brands like Prada and Lacoste. Yeah, they prefer to have 1200 lux in their horizontal. And then intermediate color temperature between 3500 and 4000 Kelvin. So they prefer to have white with a little yellowish, but more of white. And for those stimulants people, there are unconventional individuals, so they prefer to have high contrast lighting scenes with rather strong accents and a large vertical light component. Combination of a narrow beam accent luminaires and decorative luminaires for general lighting. So accent lighting using spots with narrow and medium wide beam angles. Peripheral areas are enhanced by asymmetrically vertical lighting and spots, and integrated accent lighting for shelves and recesses. Okay, and comparatively lowest horizontal illuminance of approximately 500 lux, and intermediate color temperature of about 4000 Kelvin. So like what I mentioned, the best example for this is the Adidas shop, or Nike, or Levi's. Okay, so they preferred also 4000 Kelvin, but the horizontal is only 500 lux. So this is the matrix for the exam, or the examination, or the test. So this data is gathered based on this analysis in this test. So these are the four items that you can find in these dots in this graph. So this is called the emotional load matrix. You can see that there is stimulation and emotionalization. So for the emotion, there is very critical, neutral, pleasant, and very pleasant. And then the green zone you're seeing right now marks the range of acceptance of this target group. That is, for example, for the harmonizers. And under the stimulation, there is excessively stimulating, highly stimulating, neutral, calming, and under stimulating. So there are other people's also under stimulating. All right. So yeah. So general findings. You can see now that there are different lighting scenarios happening here. Understand which target group you are focusing on. So as a lighting designer, using this limbic lighting, you can immediately tell, based on the target group, what kind of lighting scheme we can suggest to our client. Enhance the lighting system by incorporating zoom-to-bell limbic lighting. Increases your target group's sense of well-being, of course, because as per their study, most of the lighting brands prefer to work on how to light the merchandise. They want to show off the merchandise, but they forgot to use lighting to entice or stimulate the emotion of the buyer. So I think this is what the Limbic Lighting did. They are not focusing mainly on highlighting the merchandise, but enticing the feelings or the emotions of the buyers to buy more. Extends the time your customers spend in the shop. Yeah. So by using the proper lighting, and by incorporating the lighting scheme based on the character of the people who's going to enter their shop, then the customer will spend more on inside the shop and will ultimately result in the higher sales volume. Of course, if they linger more, if they stay more in the shop and check the merchandise and feel at home, or they feel belong to that kind of shop, then they will automatically the sales will increase, because people will come in, and some people, if they saw that there are people inside the shop, they will think, what is happening inside, what's new, what's in there, so they also tend to go inside. Okay, so the 3 focal points with fundamental differences, the target group specific findings. So let's go and move forward. So these are the dominance people, the performers or the disciplinarians. Let's go and check their characters and what are the lighting schemes for them. So this is the one I mentioned to you, the best image to discuss this lighting specifications for every target group. So for this dominance, this is the lighting scheme. Usually, as I mentioned, they prefer to have 3,500 to 4,000 Kelvin, and yeah, even illumination, they prefer to have 1,200 lux. So these are the specification for lighting. So if you, as a lighting designer, and you want to use this limbic lighting to create a good lighting scheme for your client, then consider these things. So for dominance, those people who are achievers, go for homogeneous lighting scene. Then accent lighting is using 25 to 40 degrees angle beam. And they have the uniform lighting for peripheral areas or the surrounding or general areas. And they prefer to have asymmetrical floodlights. And of course, 1,200 lux on the horizontal. And color temperature is 4,000 Kelvin. Alright, so this example is this Porsche design. Another picture. And another picture. Next is for the stimulants group, which are those hedonists and adventurers, young generation. Yeah, they prefer to have this kind of lighting scheme. The one I told you, Adidas, Levi's, Nike, and those little dark surfaces stores with high contrast. So if your client is selling this kind of goods, if your client is targeting this kind of people, then you may suggest this lighting scheme. So powerful accent lighting with plenty of contrast, then accent lighting using narrow beam spots, 12 to 18 degrees, and then the surrounding areas are enhanced by floodlights and spots only, no general lighting at all. Those general lighting are coming from the spotlights, from these spotlights. And then the horizontal illuminance is 500 lux, and then color temperature in excess is 4,000 Kelvin. They still prefer to use cool white. So if you ever enter this kind of stores like Adidas, Nike, and those adventure or jeans shops, then this is the way it looks. Wrong example of picture. I should have changed this one. Yes, this is the one I mentioned. Something like this sporty type of shop. So you can see the contrast, dark surfaces with high contrast floodlights on the merchandise only. Alright, then the third one is the balance group, which are the harmonizers, the traditionalists, and bon vivants. So this is the lighting scheme for this target group. And again, if your client is selling something for this kind of people, then this is the lighting scheme for them, you can suggest this lighting scheme. And these are, soft lighting with gentle contrast. Medium angle spots, 18 to 30 degrees. Mix of accent lighting, vertical and cove. And integrated lighting in recess and on shelves. And the average horizontal illuminance is 800 lux. And the color temperature is 3000 Kelvin. Why? Because they feel at home, so they prefer to have a warm color. They feel warm and at home, because if you have warm color like in your house or in hotel, you feel at home, you feel comfortable. So these are the people who prefer to have this kind of light color. So so don't forget, if your client is selling this kind of stuff for this target group, then you may suggest this lighting scheme. So this is the example, not for our clothing, but another one and another one. So these are the differences you can see. So what do your customers find appealing? So you double check what you can ask your client, what are you selling? Who is your target group? Is it middle age, younger age, or for old people, or is it for achievers or for sporty type? You can ask them, and then from there you can suggest easily what kind of lighting should be. Right? So this Limbic Lighting, they did a study. Aside from the studio or from the testing room, they do apply it in one of the store in Germany. This is for the Jerry Weber shop. So the concept for Jerry Weber is a 3-month field test comparison of previous lighting system and Limbic Lighting solution. They want to test if this Limbic Lighting is really performing, or if it's really true, and if it's really increased the sales of this shop. So the lighting solution designed specifically for the target group. So you can see in the shop which kind of target group they have. I think they are in the balance because they use warm color. So with the help of the established scientific methods, the following aspects were tested: the emotional responses to the new lighting concept, influence of customers' buying behavior and on sales, and that is their pictures. So I'm right, they are from the balance group. So the only lighting solution was changed, soft light, the beam angle, 800 lux, 3000 Kelvin. And the general improvement of the customer's emotional states, that's the clear results. So one of the clear results is the increase in the interest, increase in attention, reduction of stress, increase in the level of activation, and in conclusion, there is a 10% increase in sales in the test shop within just a few weeks. Wow. So can you imagine, there's a 10% increase in sales by just changing the light scheme. Nice one. Plus 10% average transaction value compared to a reference shop in the same time period. Wow. So it's good. So there's the picture before and after, and another one before and after. You can see the difference. They use the lighting scheme a little different. If you can see the difference. I hope you can see the difference. Okay. And another one before and after. You can see in the counter the difference. It's widely obvious. And of course, these are the fittings that Zoom to Bell used for this lighting scheme in Jerry Weber shop. This is one of their best luminaire. You can have this wide for wall washing, and another one with the technology, the true gamut rendering and for fashion, and that is the Zoom to Bell product. So so that's it, and later I will create a video about how to do it in dialects, those kind of target groups. So these are some of the pictures. So the results at a glance: increased sense of well-being, higher level of stimulation, prolonged time spent in the shop, and enhanced consumer behavior. Good, good, good. So there's another one. So it says light up your sales, and that's it for the it's one more here. Get to know your understand group, specify, and that is it for the Zoom to Bell group retail presentation about limbic lighting.